does it mean to be unstoppable?
Charging straight into the action there.
Unstoppable is a celebration of character.
This is the definition of Ironman as they go up and around.
When all is against you, you keep going.
They find something deep inside him.
When being knocked down is just the moment before you get back up.
That is unbelievable.
When others say you can't, but you know you can. Never give up.
She salutes the crowd and grabs the tape, and what a win it was.
Witness the unstoppable, the Nutri-Grain IronMan and IronWoman Series.
This is their third race today. They had a seeding race to decide the quarterfinal makeup and drop off 4 athletes. Then the quarterfinals, now the semis.
And they've got one to go if they want to win the whole round here. WaveCross off and away, already into it. The boys grab the boards on the straps, up under the arm, and Dan Collins doesn't, but as expected, Corey Fletcher goes up and over a wave. He flew off the sand there. That end is fast, and he's probably the fastest starter in the business anyway. So he's gone to the front, and he's dragging Matt Bevilacqua on the red board. Jackson Borg there in third place, and Dan Collins already off the back, and I just don't think he was ready for it. He didn't put the board up under his arm, thought he could sort of take a few more steps, but he seems to have worked his way back onto Jackson Borg's tail now. But if you're not careful, these two will get away, because Matt Bevilacqua and Corey Fletcher are two of the best board paddlers going around, and this is their weapon right now. Bevilacqua, he likes to slow the pace on the way out and then really light it up on the way home, but he's not doing that now. He has just put his head down, said, I don't want to get in a dogfight with the rest of these guys. I want to break it open like we saw in the last race, like Danny McKenzie did, and just let the rest of them fight it out for the other spot. So Bevilacqua's emptying the tank, and so far every race today has been roughly 8 minutes. They know they've got to give everything they've got for 8 minutes. They'll get about a half an hour's break, 15 minutes break, and then they go again, and it's just time after time after time. We're 12 races down, 4 to go for the day. We've got these two semis, the women's final, the men's final, and they're under pressure, that's for sure. And 1 and 2 are flying side by side, working very, very hard. There's a wave on offer. I don't know about Jackson Borg, whether he'll get down it. Bevilacqua, we can see that distinctive technique, very bouncy there. He sits up, he knows there's a runner there. Corey Fletcher's going to get one as well. I don't know if Bevilacqua's going to get down it. He's got to fight, he's got to fight. He refuses to give up, and just like Ali Day was before, an unstoppable effort there to get down this one, and this could prove crucial in the overall outcome of this semi-final, because we've got 1 and 2 sitting pretty on their own, and then out the back, Borg and Collins have picked up another one as well. So as they head into the sand, do you think that took a lot out of Matt Bevilacqua, Candice?
Yeah, I think it has. He was just, the boys when they were coming in, they were just having a look around to see how far the Jackson Borg was behind him, and now as they go through, they're breathing pretty heavily. I know this is just a semi-final, but they will be racing this like it is a final.
Well, the big question now is, can Collins and Borg break up this partnership out in front, and how they negotiate these waves? A couple of little sharp ones there. It's mostly a shore break today, but there have been a few little sharp waves, a few lips to contend with as they get further out. Just the odd one, it's hard to tell.
And that's sometimes more difficult than a giant set, because the set you can hit it with speed and kind of bounce over the top. A couple of those ones, especially early on, they just slow your progress down. You've got to get the boat speed up and going again, and that's sometimes the toughest. Forcing that boat's 20 kilos, forcing it back up to pace, getting yourself up into your technique. But they've been hit, our 2 leaders have been hit maybe 3 or 4 times on the way out. Jackson Borg hasn't really been hit at all, and Dan Collins is holding on. So the other interesting aspect, board, ski, swim, these two are our craft specialists. They're good board paddlers, they're strong ski paddlers. The 2 at the back are the best swimmers we've got. They're very, very quick. Dan Collins has led every swim he's done so far. Jackson Borg, he's no mug either. These guys swim maybe just under 4 minutes for 400 freestyle, 3:55, something like that. So they can swim very, very quick. But our 2 leaders, asking you shall receive, they get one as they go around the cans. And what about that? They got a board wave, they get a ski wave. They just need one more for the trifecta there. But these 2 are very happy with their performance so far. And our back markers will be desperate to do something to change this up.
So it's almost as though these two could work together. Matt Bevilacqua there just improving his line. for that little run up to the transition point. And Candice, they've got a very big gap now. They're going to stay together, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's vital that they continue to paddle all the way to the shore and that they don't get off the ski too early. If they get off the ski too early, they may find themselves in a little bit of a trough and having to porpoise to, get into that swim leg. But they're going around here now, and I do say that they've actually gone in two different directions. That's very interesting.
Corey Fletcher went down to the far right-hand side, or the left-hand side as we look at it now. Matt Bevilacqua took a more direct line out, and interestingly, the two swimmers have followed Bevilacqua, so they don't like what Corey Fletcher's selling. He's just, I think he thinks the bank might be a little bit shallower over there. He can maybe wade for a little bit longer, whereas Matt Bevilacqua, he's gone into that bit of a rip there. It's deeper, but the water's sucking out, and it looks like that has been the correct move. You might swim a little bit further, but with all that water moving out to sea, you've got to use what Mother Nature throws up, and it's like a free ride out to the first turning can, and already that gap is closing on Corey Fletcher. Jackson Borg in third, Dan Collins in fourth. That's our leader going down and underneath one, and that gap that looked massive on the ski is all of a sudden looking very, very small in the swim. The boys push underneath another one there as well, and Corey Fletcher, I don't think that was the right line. Without a shadow of a doubt, the next semi will have been watching this one because they saw him run up on the beach. He didn't really get anything out of it. It's not shallow enough to completely run. It's just an awkward depth, and already Jackson Borg's halved that gap. Bevilacqua's got a body length out in front as they head towards the first can. So Bevilacqua in one, Corey Fletcher in two, Jackson Borg in three. And then at the back, Dan Collins doing everything he can, and Bevilacqua will want one of those. He'll want one of those when he turns the cans, that is for sure. And I don't know if there's one on offer. Fletcher's around, Borg's around, Dan Collins has got to get around. There's definitely a wave, so we'll see who can pick it up. Borg's missed it. Oh, the two have got it, so 3 from 3. They got a board wave. They got a ski wave. They've got a swim wave. They should buy a lottery ticket. They've been that lucky in this semi-final.
That was heartbreaking for the two guys behind. They put in all that effort to get literally on their feet as they made that turn, and then they missed the wave.
And it wasn't even like it filled up in the gutter. They've ridden it the whole way to the beach there. Bevilacqua stands up. He'll have to get going because the next two are on a wave as well, and he seems to just be hitting the deck. His handler in there, that's his brother Joel. He's a lifeguard on this beach, so he's one of the Bondi lifeguards, and he'll be telling him what to do, so he's giving him the hurry up. And Corey Fletcher, wow, what a result for him. His best result ever, I think, is an 11th from yesterday, and he's going to finish with a top 4 today. So welcome to the big show, Corey Fletcher. Gets it done, goes to the final. Matt Bevilacqua will earn himself a spot there as well. Jackson Borg and Dan Collins, you can see the disappointment on their faces. They will live to fight another day, but they'll end up with a 5th place overall. And we'll take a look. They turn that can, and what about the drone shot? Borg almost got down it. Oh, and if they just started the race a few seconds earlier, he would have got there. But no, 1 and 2. What a performance.
The timing of that wave didn't actually help Jackson when he was trying to get around that can. Candice.
Yeah, I'm down here with Corey Fletcher, the winner of semi-final number 1. Corey, you went a different way in the swim leg. We were all saying that maybe it was the wrong decision. What were you thinking?
I went for a little swim warm-up before, and I noticed that the bank is starting to really show in the lower tide now. So I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know how it worked because Bevy still beat me to the can, but it might play a different part in the final.
And is that a tactic that you think you might use in the final?
We'll see. I've got fast legs, and if it does get a bit shallower, it will be nice to run across the bank. So,
well, congratulations on making the final today. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, the tide is dropping off, so that theory will only get stronger for Corey Fletcher. We'll find out as we come back for the second men's semi-final here at North Bondi.
Then Kai Taylor, the youngest in the field. So from the man who's won it all to the man who wants to win it all there. And some of these kids have got the best seat in the house. Build yourself a sandcastle, watch the best Ironmen in the world go head to head and thrash themselves around the cans for the next 10 minutes. 4 on the line. So Zach Morris from the Newport Club. He's a young gun. Kai Taylor alongside him. Ali Day in yellow with number 1 and Max Beattie in orange. So both wildcards made it through to the semi-finals. So a big day for the wildcard boys. Board ski swim is the order, the same as the one we've seen. Matt Bevilacqua and Corey Fletcher are waiting for them on the other side of semi-final number 2 in WaveCross. Off and away, and once again, rinse and repeat. I reckon it's the left-hand side there. Max Beattie, he will lead them out early on. He's got a great board start. He's very strong, and that end just seems to be that little bit better for these guys off the beach. So it's where you want to be. You get a huge gap, you cut your way back across to the cans, you cut the other boys off, and Kai Taylor, he's very, very quick in the lay down, but it wasn't enough to deal with Beattie or Ali Day. A little wave there for the boys, and once again the man in red, Kai Taylor, on the stomach the entire way, and Zach Morris in fourth, working his way back into it nicely.
And that overhead as the wave went through, Josh, is a great example of what Corey Fletcher was talking about. There's a lot of variation in this beach in a short space. You can go 3 or 4 metres to the left or right of your competitor and get something different.
And you're spot on, and the worst thing you can do is take a half measure. Like Corey did, you either go to the bank or you go to the rip. You don't half-ass it in the middle, because if that's where the water starts to run off the bank, it's a bit awkward. It's the worst place to be, and that's why you'll see the guys either run all the way on or all the way off. There is no halfway. And
jammed up on the turn.
He got a board to the ribs there, and I think maybe that's how Kai Taylor thinks he can get Ali Day. If he can knock him out or knock him over, it might give him a chance to get through. Morris is still on the tail in green, so Ali Day in 1, Max Beattie in orange in 2, Kai Taylor lay down the entire way in 3. He's the man in red, and Zach Morris on the back here. There's a wave on, he sits up. I think they're all going to get this one. I think they're all going to push down it. Kai Taylor's going to have no issues. Ali Day is very relaxed. Zach Morris is there, and that is all she wrote. We have 4 on now, and the board doesn't mean anything. All that hard work done by Max Beattie and Ali Day goes out the window. It's time for ski and swim to find out who is going to earn themselves a place in the final. And Max Beattie looks comfortable. He looks around, takes it all in, makes sure he gets a good line to that can, but he'll be the furthest one down. So he'll have to make sure he puts the power down, get off nice and early and get going. And Kai Taylor there, he'll be on the inside. He's done a good job, but as always, Ali Day on fire.
Candice Warner all together up the beach.
Yeah, if you have a look at Ali Day, he just is so calm and composed. He's the athlete that makes the least mistakes. He'll get on this ski here and just get the rating up, get through that little shore break, and then get himself into a nice little rhythm.
And that is so important, isn't it, in this kind of race? Get into your rhythm, feel comfortable, because it can be all over in a flash.
That is exactly right, and nobody feels more comfortable at this level than Ali Day. He's the endurance animal. He can take that heart rate up to pure threshold and hold it for 4 hours. So while the heart rate spikes a little higher, he could probably bring it down a little bit better than the other guys, and he goes straight to the lead in that flying V formation there. So Ali Day in 1, his teammate Max Beattie in 2. On the right-hand side, that is Zach Morris in 3 there, the man from Newport, and you'll hear the Morris name for a long, long time. He's got a couple of younger brothers who are absolute weapons as well. They are really good young Ironmen, and give them a year, give them 2 years. I think we might have all 3 of them in this IronMan series. So watch the name Morris for a long time, and Kai Taylor on the back. He's already here at only 19 years of age, and his future is bright as well. So this is a show into the future, and Ali Day is putting on a show. He's got a set here, so he picks that one up, and easy as you does it, he'll just ride that all the way to the beach. You can have a look at the veins popping out of his arms there. He puts the power down. There's a wave on out the back as well. Ali Day makes sure he keeps it straight. This might be a little bit tougher for the boys out the back. You can see from the drone shot, as it hits the bank, it'll start to stand up. They'll run it out, and when they hit that aerated water, they'll start to paddle, because the water's a little bit testing through there. All 3 of them, no issue at all. And Ali Day in 1, and Kai Taylor, Max Beattie, Zach Morris, 2, 3, and 4, all on the same wave with 1 leg to go in the swim. And you'd probably pick Zach Morris from here. He's the best swimmer out of the 3, but this race is never over. Candice, Ali Day looking strong.
Oh, he's looking so strong. Finally a reward for all his hard work. We saw in the race before that he went out really hard, and he just didn't get a reward for all his hard work. So he's got himself in a great position here, but he can't rest too early.
That's exactly right. If he switches off here, he'll just open the gap. But I've never seen Ali Day switch off from anything. He loves to do the work at training. He is one of the toughest competitors you'll ever see, and he's overcome so much. He had 2 seasons in his career so far where he's had to sit out the entire Iron Series. He had a mystery illness, a bit of chronic fatigue, maybe 10 years ago, and then he broke both his wrists, not last summer, but the summer before. So the things he's had to overcome just make this all the more special.
3 into 1 will not go. Ali Day has a big lead, but that doesn't mean he wins the round, of course. This is the semi-final. We have the final still to come, but only one other athlete in this bunch will go through with Ali Day. That's assuming he can hold on, but it looks like he will.
Matt Bevilacqua and Corey Fletcher already into the final. We'll see them be joined by 2 of these 4 men. They dive underneath that one there. It hadn't broken, so they just sort of kept pushing, and there's a wave out the back, and Ali Day is almost at the can. I don't think he'll get this one. He'll have to get around quick if he wants to be a shot at it. He lift the rating, but no, it was just underneath him. And then looking out on horizon, there's a few lumps, but there's not much at all, is there? So maybe it just opens up. Morris, he is in second place, Kai Taylor in third, and then Max Beattie on the tail, and Max will be praying for a wave. That is for sure, because it's the only way he gets himself through this one.
We've seen in a couple of these WaveCross races as Day does get a wave. It's not a beauty, it's a bit of a runner, but he still gets enough of a gap there to cover himself. There's a big one coming out the back. Well, certainly big enough, and it looks like it just might give these 3 back markers something, but who is going to make the most of it?
Ali Day needs to get this one. The back markers will go down, and for sure it'll break on Morris's hand. He's going to have to do the work to get down, and Morris is off the back, and he knows he's gone. Max Beattie, he's hanging in there. So's Kai Taylor. Beattie rides it for just a little bit more. Now it's a pure sprint for the beach. Morris is blowing up out the back. He knows his day's over. Ali Day's on the sand, but it's not. Morris has picked one up. He thought his race was done, and he's found a wave now. He's got himself back into it. He's got to surf it all the way to the beach. Oh, and he falls off the back. But here comes the sprint finish for the last spot. Ali Day will be through. He will be in the final, but one of these 2 men will go into the final. Is it the wild card or is it the young gun? They stand up. Beattie's the first to his feet. He's got a quick sprint, a little stumble. Kai Taylor knows it's over, and Max Beattie will go to the final. We have 2 wild cards in the final. WaveCross has turned this entire series on its head. Ali Day, Max Beattie, they will join Matt Bevilacqua and Corey Fletcher. 2 from Surfers Paradise get through, and the young gun, he was good. He was close, but it just wasn't enough. And poor old Morris, he was in and out and in and out. And Candace on the beach, those 2 boys from Surfers must be very, very happy.
They're very happy, and I'm here with Max Beattie. Just he's slumped over. That just goes to show how hard this racing is. That was a semi-final, and there's still one more race to go. You're the wild card. No one expected you to make the final. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'm not a bit lost for words at the moment, but anytime you can win that top 4 in the IronMan Series, it's a great day, and definitely got a little bit lucky here and there, but honoured to be in it.
What's it going to take to win the final?
A lot of tactics, a bit of luck, but a lot of hard work. It's really flat out there. I know that those waves are making a big difference, but you saw Ali just saying he did the hard work and got rewarded. So, quick warm down and get after it in that final.
You're such a phenomenal athlete. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Cam. Appreciate it.
Max said he was lost for words. I think the words might have been there floating around, but the breath wasn't there. And I'm not surprised. This has been so intense. It's called WaveCross. We've still got the finals to come for the women and the men. Stay with us for the Nutri-Grain Iron Series. And was Matt Bevilacqua, the old fox, pacing himself? It's hard to tell because, you had those moments in these short races, don't you, Josh, where you think everything's going well and then suddenly you have to put in some big effort to overcome something. You just don't know until you get to that final start line.
Yeah, I don't know if he's old at 29, but in this field he's definitely...
I know him well enough to say that, I think.
He's a sly fox, that is for sure. And him and Ali Day, they're sitting around that 30 years of age, whereas Beattie, well, he's a little bit younger, and Corey Fletcher, the youngest of our finalists by a long way, at only 24 years of age. That was Fletcher. This is Matt Bevilacqua, the man from Tasmania. He made his way to the Sunshine Coast and now to the Gold Coast to chase his dream. Mr. Ali Day, he has won, 7 straight races in the Ironman Series, and the last 8 he has ever done. So his form is red hot, and as Candace said, if you're a betting man, the good money at $1.10 would be on him. And Max Beattie, another one of the boys in orange, I don't know, he says hi to his mum there. He makes a little gesture to the camera. We'll have to find out what that one means. He's a bit of a show pony, the big fella, but he has a heart of gold, that is for sure. So the 2 men on the outside in the orange, Matt Bevilacqua in the green, Ali Day in yellow. This is our final four, ski, swim, board, and this is for all the points, all the cash, and all the pride of being called the first ever WaveCross champion in Nutri-Grain IronMan Series history. And I know every single one of these four boys will want that title there. Bevilacqua and Day have both won races before. Ali, he's got 12 race wins in his past. Bevilacqua's only had 6. Fletcher's never stood on the podium. Max Beattie has. He's also a 4-time New Zealand champion as well. So we've got a Kiwi in the field. And a shout out to all the Kiwis watching at home. Off and away once again. Corey Fletcher on the right-hand side. That is the lane you want to be. Matt Bevilacqua decides he's going to try and go with him. And they are going at a massive clip at the moment. Off and flying. It looks like Beattie was probably the slowest of it on the right-hand side. And Ali Day didn't get off to the best start we've seen all day. And it's Bevilacqua. He's not hanging around.
Well, different initially anyway. They took different paths just to get out and get settled in, but now they're stringing out, and Bevilacqua takes the lead from Ali Day.
Yeah, he knows. First to the can, first choice of waves, and it made a massive difference. And in a couple of races, we've seen Bevy get to this point, slow down ever so slightly, but not this time. He went very tight on that can, made sure Ali was a full ski length behind him. He's going to make it tough for him to get around the cans. Oh, Ali Day is struggling. This is going to let Max Beattie back into it in 4th place. So the 3 boys there they're using the same brand of ski. They just struggled to get it around, and Bevilacqua, that Dolphin turned on a dime and turned for home, and he's done a good job, but all that hard work means nothing when Mother Nature gets involved. Bevilacqua does the right job of getting himself on the inside line, so it's Bevilacqua, Beattie, Day, Corey Fletcher. None of these boys should have a mistake on this wave. They are skillful enough, and Corey Fletcher's a long way down.
That was smart racing from Bevilacqua. He not only saw that he had the inside running, which he'd worked hard to get, but he knew that when they were coming on that wave, as Ali struggles, Max struggles a bit.
Oh, and he's taken. Oh, Bevilacqua does the right thing. Max has ridden that sideways, cowboy style, all the way to the beach. It was like a bucking bronco, and he somehow got there. Candice, that was amazing.
Max Beattie just did such a great work hanging onto that ski. Ali Day's just gone into the water first for the swim. He's going to want to just go for it and just extend his lead here. This is where I believe where this race is going to be won and lost.
Well, Ali was improving his position there for the sprint, and Max got squeezed out. Simple as that.
That's it, and that's racing, and their teammates as well. We'll watch now. Max just starts to go sideways. He gets upset, tries to bring it round. He grits the teeth, puts the paddle in, then he goes back the other way, throws the leg over. Bevilacqua does well to keep it straight. He rides the bucking bronco to the beach and somehow manages to stay upright and get over the top. So skillful there from the man with a great head of hair as well. I just noticed that there. Beattie looking very good. And Bevilacqua, this might be the first time I've ever seen him go to the front when he's swimming against Ali Day. Normally he's happy to sit in on the tail because Ali's a great swimmer. He's a, let's say, 352 sort of 400-metre freestyler. So heading up into world-class territory, Matt Bevilacqua can't do that speed, but he is finding a way to fight it out, and these two are going to go stroke for stroke, side by side, and it's up to the 2 men in orange to try and hang on.
Over that shallow bank and almost locking arms, these two, they are stroke for stroke. And now the job ahead is for the other two to keep up. And remember, it's not the first 2 through in this, it's the winner.
It's all about when you see Bevilacqua there, just got on the inside, and he's going to swim all over the top of Ali Day. He wants to turn this into a wrestle, not a swimming race. He can wrestle, he can sort of get in there, a bit of push and shove, slow Ali down, and try and keep him as close as possible and back his board leg home. But Ali Day's found a runner. How did that happen? He has pulled that out of nothing. I didn't even see it there. Matt Bevilacqua looks up and goes, where did that come from? There's one on offer now for Bevilacqua. He needs this now more than anything because Ali Day has opened a huge gap, and we should start calling him the Magic Man because he pulled that out of a hat.
He'll get this one as well if he pushes hard.
Very good, he does, and well, 1 turns into 2 and a gap starts to open up, and if you give Ali Day an inch, he will take a mile, and that was amazing because I hadn't seen somebody pick up something like that since the likes of Kai Hurst. And Ali Day, his swim is phenomenal, stands up. He had the push and shove with Bevilacqua around there, but when it turned into swimming time, Ali Day got the best of him. He gets determined, and this race is his to lose, isn't it, Candice?
It's definitely is. The crowd is just on their feet for Ali Day. We saw him win yesterday, and I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see a little bit more of history. I've never seen someone body surf a wave quite like that.
It was
that was
amazing.
extraordinary, yeah.
We're speechless here in the box as Max Beattie and Corey Fletcher get one, and Bevilacqua, you can see he's filthy on himself. He knows that Ali's got away from him. He's got a great board leg. So does Corey Fletcher. So does Max Beattie, but I don't know if it's enough. He just gets up and over that one on the shore. In behind him, Beattie, he's going for broke at the moment, and Corey Fletcher, if he wants to be on the podium, he has to catch one of these two men. The waves are slowing Ali Day down ever so slightly, but if he can get up and over this one, they'll do more harm to his competitors than him, and I think that's the case. He's out in the green water. Bevilacqua will lean back, get the nose up and over that one, and he's going to try and sneak through this. So third and fourth, they cop it as well. It's not going to happen. He'll lean back, let the nose go over, lie down on his stomach, get the board moving again and try and sneak through this wave. And while that's happening and he's battling Mother Nature, Ali Day is almost at the turning can for the final time. We've had the ski, we've had the swim, we've had the board, and Ali Day is doing a fantastic job out in front.
Well, here could be the decisive moment of the, well, possibly the series, but look at this.
Have a look at that. He just got to run. Bevilacqua couldn't get down. He keeps the head down, doesn't breathe, doesn't breathe. If your head comes up, you fall off the back. And just as he pulled his head up there, that was enough. He opened it up. Ali Day's turned for home, and he is going for broke. Head down. He's up the rating. He knows this is it. He won yesterday in a canter, and today he's opened up a huge gap in the WaveCross final. The rating doesn't stop. He's not going to sit up and rest until he's got a wave, because he knows that if one of these guys get a wave, they could get back into it. Bevilacqua's found a runner. He's found a huge wave. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Will he get down? And he pushes over the top. Ali Day's going to get a little run there, and I think Bevilacqua knows it won't be enough. Day pushes down that little bump, but for a moment his heart would have been up in his throat as he saw big bad Bevilacqua swooping down that giant set, and he knew he got out of that one there. No sprint finish for Ali Day, and the perfect run continues. 7 straight races yesterday, 8 straight races today. Ali Day is on fire. He is absolutely unstoppable. He is not going to stand around because Bevilacqua's quick across the sand, but Ali Day continues this incredible run. He's been undefeated in almost 2 seasons. What a performance from Ali Day. Bevilacqua gets his series back on track with a silver, but he seems filthy. He's kicking himself a little bit. He knows the mistake. Here's the race for 3rd place. The 2 wild cards to stand on the podium. Corey Fletcher's never been on the podium. Look at him go up and away. He looks like Usain Bolt going up there. He flew up and around, and he will get 3rd spot. What a result for Corey Fletcher. He deserves a huge performance there, the man from Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park. He will stand on the podium, and it seems like Max Beattie will have to settle for 4th. Unbelievable.
He has had a great day though, Max Beattie. Well played. Ali Day celebrating yet another victory, still unbeaten since forever, and we'll be back to sort it all out after this. Well, if you've been watching the racing today, you'll see how often it comes down to key moments, even a second. But what the great athletes like Ali Day do is seize those moments. Candice Warner, he's remarkable.
Oh, he absolutely is remarkable. That's 8 wins in a row. Ali, we're running out of superlatives to describe you. How was it today?
Brutal. That format was by far, I reckon, one of the hardest ones I've ever done. It brutal out there because the races are obviously so short, they're so cutthroat, and that's the other part of it. They're just so cutthroat. You can never take your foot off the gas and never be complacent out there. And that was the goal today, just stay out of trouble as much as you could, and then get to the last race and just let it all go. In
a format like that, how do you plan your day?
You can't. One race at a time, one leg at a time. It's just process. And as I said, never try to become complacent out there, because I think as soon as you do that, Mother Nature will, play a trick on you. So I just try to get to the front every time and just work as hard as I could.
As a young boy competing at Warilla as a nipper, could you have ever imagined you would have had this success?
No way. I said that to my wife last night. She said, these things don't happen all too often, so stop trying to think about tomorrow, stop trying to think about what's next, enjoy the moment, and that one was really special. I had to work really hard for that, and no way in my wildest dreams, Candice, but I think I'd, gone out and won another race.
Ali, you mentioned your wife. How big of a role does your wife and your son play in your success?
If only everyone knew. She's the biggest. She's the only reason, they're the reason I'm here today. Like, they're always in my thought. I've got their names written on my board and ski. And, I mean, as I said, if only you knew, when I go back to the apartment, she's my psychologist, she's my wife, she's everything, you know what I mean? And I just love winning races, especially for her, and Danny.
And I notice you're always the first one on the beach. Is that a superstition?
I just try, again, like, I'm a bit OCD with a few things, and just try to be as professional as I can, and I learned a hell of a lot from someone like Shannon Eckstein, and just tried to watch and emulate as much everything he did. So just trying to now go out there and I guess do it my own way.
Well, that's 2 from 2 this year. That's 8 in a row. Well done.
Thanks, Candice. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
that was amazing. Oh, it was so good.
The streak continues.